What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing another Dishsoap VOD review from PBE because, I mean, he's the guy to watch. Not that there's PBE MMR. Well, I mean, there is MMR, but not that there's ranked in PBE right now. But if there was, Dishsoap would be rank 1. And there actually is going to be ranked coming to PBE starting tomorrow, as far as I understand it. It's, I believe Riot is like trying to test out the ranked mode because this is going to be their first time running ranked on Unreal. And so there is going to be ranked on PBE, which is going to be very, very weird starting, or I guess today as you're watching this video. I'm recording it at night, but when you're watching this video, PBE will, I assume after the patch comes out, have ranked. I honestly don't know. Maybe it'll just be out in the morning. That would be kind of weird, but I would assume they have to patch it in. Who knows? In any case, we are going to watch Dishsoap here and learn so that we can all be rank 1 together for PBE ranked when it comes out here. Going to hold on to this Elise unit, one of the best units right now. I really wanted to do an Elise Reroll VOD review, but I haven't found a good one yet. Ooh, this is a really fun new augment. Future Focus. Your Tactician loses 20 HP, but after 5 player combats, gain 3 4-cost champions and 8 gold. So this is very similar to the old Silver augment, where you take some damage at the start, and then you get a bunch of gold the middle of stage 3. Was it Risky Moves? Very similar to that idea, but honestly, I think it's better because you get it earlier. You get this just after all of your fights. You get this on stage 2 neutrals, and you also get 4 costs. We give you a ton of direction. Kind of the question with Risky Moves is always like, okay, you have it, but like, what are we going to do with those resources? But here, I mean, it just gives you the direction. It's like, here, boom, all your forecasts, you're done. Now build a board out of them. Now, maybe you get some forecasts that you don't care about. But still, I mean, I think it's way, way better than the previous version. So, yeah, I mean, a pretty good augment in my estimation. This will be my first time actually seeing it played. I haven't had a chance to play it myself, so I am excited here. Silver Destiny to late game specialist 2-1 is pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, some interesting stuff here. The Destiny augments, I will say, by the way, if you want to get a broken game with, you know, one of these Destiny augments, if you've seen, you know, the Prismatic Destiny into getting a 5 cost on 2-1 or something like that, you know, probably get your games in before today, the patch that happens today on Monday, because I would assume that is going to be removed from the game, you know, by the end of the day. But hey, we'll see. Pick up Journeyman as our charm here to give us a 2-star 2 cost, and we get a great one. We get the Warwick, which we can now play around. So we actually have really good odds of win streak from the spot, which is fantastic when you do have an augment like this that does a bunch of damage to you. Because one, now we're not dead. You know, you feel really awkward when you take this and then start loss streaking because you can just lose a ton of HP for free. But the other nice thing is we actually have Carousel Prow here, so we can look at getting another item slam here, which it's, yeah, looking like just going to be the sword into BT. I mean, I think this makes perfect sense. Has good synergy with the 2 other items that we've made here, and we can just have a 3-item Warwick 2 here. I mean, he should do insane work on this board, honestly, and he's also just, you know, hovering his augment saying, hey, I'm going to get some really good stuff a little bit later in the game. So yeah, the spot is looking fantastic here. We are going to have to decide what we do want to hold on to. We actually do have a lot of great units for the kind of like Elise reroll setup, but, you know, don't have quite the item set up for it, and I think we'd be pretty happy with our setup here. We are going to play the 4 Ravager right now on 2-5. Why not? I mean, it fits, and we can get Vanguard on the board anyway, and we still, I mean, it's buffing our strongest unit in the Warwick here. Still don't have Blackthorn in for him yet, but honestly, we don't really need it that early. This early. Sinister Deal. Man, I always take this one. I probably would still take it here. Yeah, just because 2 gold for 4 HP. It's just a great trade. The only time I wouldn't take it is if I really need to like play for my HP. I guess I had one game where I was like playing Coven, and I'm like, okay, the HP actually matters here. But under most circumstances, I think 2 gold absolutely worth the 4 HP that you lose, especially in a spot like Dishsoap, right, where you're win streaking here. We're on a 5 streak. HP is not going to be our issue this game, and honestly, more gold is going to allow us to leverage the HP almost lead that we have in the spot. Even though we are at 76 HP, we have taken zero damage from actual like players in this lobby. And so there's pretty good odds that we get later into the stage without, yeah, really having taken any more damage. Get a TG here, which honestly seems great with the fact that we're going to get a bunch of 4 costs as well. And we will see. There's our gold and there's our 4 costs. We get a Sentinel, an Ezreal, and a Lilia here. I mean, pretty good options. The Lilia and the Sentinel, both really good tank options. The Sentinel going to come onto the board because it just fits, right? It's a Vanguard, which is already what we wanted to play around. And we can play this really, really cool kind of mid-game board here. And we are going to finish, Gunblade actually, onto the Warwick here. Okay, makes sense. So yeah, the Kog'Maw, really good early game unit to play. And honestly, you'll see people keep this guy on your board the entire game, just because getting free Shred and Sunder on your board is really, really nice. Next Augment here, I would be so tempted by something like a Cyber Uplink in this spot here. We already have these extra components in this spot here. We have the TG, which makes a lot of sense, but we'll see. Looking like he's not interested in that. I mean, Golden Dragon Elise could be quite good here. And yeah, that is going to be the take for Dishsoap in this spot. I mean, we know that from some yapping that's been done already about Elise, that she is a great tank. And so, yeah, might as well put Golden Dragon on her. All right, so now we have this giant Elise. He's trying to figure out if he wants to move the items to Brambleback and does end up moving these over. I do really like putting items onto Brambleback. I feel like, I mean, in general, melee carries, especially like 4-cost melee carries, tend to overperform really, really hard stage 3, just because most boards cannot damage check them. There are going to be very few boards on stage 3 that can just kill this Brambleback here, and so that's the idea, is that the Brambleback is just going to be able to also just burst through front lines that are not necessarily strong enough at this point in the game. You don't have these like super like mega tank 2-star 4 costs here, and so the Brambleback also doesn't end up getting stuck on something like, you know, okay, it's a Yorick 2 here, but I mean, pretty easily we can get through this Yorick here and then end up in a spot where we can just, you know, jump onto the back line. I heard somebody in my chat today describe Brambleback as like Luchador Volibear, but like not a little bit less cool. And like, I mean, honestly, I see it. It is very much a Luchador Volibear, you know, jumping to the next units, doing a bunch of damage actually is just such a cool unit design. We are done with our Brambleback items, and we have 2 out of 3 tank items onto Elise. I was thinking that we are going to take this and go further into tank items, but we actually end up taking Glove here. I think from the perspective that we're on an 8 streak with kind of double econ augments, if you think about it. Golden Dragon is in many ways an augment that is going to make you a decent amount of gold throughout the rest of the game. We're 50 gold here at level 7. I think Dishsoap's game plan from this spot is fast 9, and it should be. This is something that I think early on in the set, we saw some fast 9ing, and I say early on as if, you know, we're over a week into PvE, but I do feel like Fast 9 has actually changed a good bit over the last week, where I think now a lot of the time people aren't playing towards verticals as much. They're playing a lot more of these kind of like horizontal boards that fit in a lot of really, really good units. And Dishsoap actually has been playing a lot of Fast 9 over just the past day. And I mean, hey, it's PvE, it's Dishsoap. It makes perfect sense. Like, usually when you are a really good player, you can go Fast 9 more often than other players, and especially when you're PvE and there's a lot of players who are like still trying to figure out what's going on. If you're in a spot like this and you're on a 10 streak with some good econ charms, or Wisps as they should be called, then you're in an amazing spot. I mean, look at this. We have 9 free rerolls already. We made some extra gold off our charm there. I mean, if this isn't a Fast 9 spot, I don't know what is. The only interesting thing in Dishsoap's spot here is he's not going to be able to play a very cookie cutter Fast 9 board, because he has the Golden Dragon. He's not going to be able to play a board that, like, you know, normally would fit exactly 9 units, because he's down an entire unit slot here. We also get Rengar 2 off of minions here. I really would like to. Wow, we don't even play him. I was going to say I'd really like to get him onto our board here, just because that's extra econ to play with. The TG is going to get made by Dishsoap, like we talked about. Actually rolls a pretty good TG for the Kog'Maw, and then he can slam the belt on frontline. Hopefully this will end up being, you know, Warmogs, or even, we don't have Yilka yet. It could even be like a Sunfire or something like that. But I mean, the spot still looking amazing. 11 streak here, and he is going to team planner out his board here. I've seen a few different Fast 9 boards, but yeah, Dishsoap actually likes that board a lot. We'll see once he finishes plannering out and also what he gets to. But yeah, the board that Dishsoap was planning out is a board that he likes a lot. I would actually be looking at tons of stats in this spot, right? Fast 9 tons of stats makes a lot of sense. He's not gonna go for it. what are we taking here? I mean, he was looking at nesting dolls probably, but now he sees giant and mighty. And yeah, this looks really, really good. As well here, hit the sentinel too, so we can move items over. Just gotta get the moguls down in time, and we do. Beautiful. So now, wow, two-star blue buff on our board. Honestly, this is one of the most contested tanks, so pretty fortunate that we have this guy 2-star already. I mean, if there's something high roll this game, for sure it's that. Just having this already is fantastic here. And also we have the 3 Rift Beasts on this board, so we can throw, for now, the Rift Beast on to the red buff. I don't think it's going to stay there forever, especially because, I mean, we have the Elder Dragon and Planner. That's very likely to be the carry that we move these items to later. But for now, you know, a very good holder of these items and also the Rift Beast buff. I mean, there's no reason to buff up the Sentinel right now. It's a little bit more mana gen for the board, but I mean, the red buff it's actually heal cut onto this board, and it's also just healing onto the red buff itself, though. Honestly, it doesn't really look like it needs it. I mean, with the Gunblade, the red buff is barely dipping down in HP here. But yeah, all right. Going into Carousel here. Could either finish off a 3rd TG in this spot or a good tank item. I think either option sounds pretty good to me. I think I'm more partial towards finishing off. Oh, especially if we could have gotten that Ivern with the Warmogs. That would have been amazing. There is still another Warmogs if we wanted here, and that is what we're going to pick up here. The Giant Spell here, just to finish off a really, really nice tank item onto this blue buff here. And yeah, I mean, the spot looking pretty good. Next question for Dishsoap, as it always is a question in spots like this, is when do I actually go 9? I'm imagining he's going to be a 5-2 from this spot, especially if we win either of the next 2 fights. We are probably going to lose at some point. I would not be shocked if we lose, you know, one of the next few fights, and especially 5-1 is very, very losable. But we'll see how long we keep this win streak. I mean, the board's not bad by any means, and the Brambleback, yeah, just blowing through boards, 9.3 thousand damage from a 1-star 4 cost, and yeah, it's still just nobody can get through it. I also do really like, this positioning. Animate Chop's actually not the worst in spots like this. We don't have anything crazy to sell with Barter, right? Yeah, Animate Chop I like a lot here. Not that you're going to get a bunch of like 2-star 5 costs off of this, but even just to find like 4 costs that you care about, I like this a lot. Or you could just hit a Cannon 2 here. Oh my god. Okay. I mean, not bad. It also looked like he was, yeah, we pre-pumped here a bit, I believe, because I don't think that's XP that we had already, right? Let me go check. Okay, so actually this was just the regular pre-pump. He didn't pre-pump anymore. Honestly, though, looking at his spot, I wonder if he could. It's a lot of gold to level in this spot here, but low key, we could have actually just leveled here and then had all of those free rolls on level 9. But still, either way, usually you're not expecting to that's a really cool play as well from Dishsoap. Okay, usually you're not expecting to hit a 2-star Cannon on that roll down, but hey, even some extra Mumus puts you into a pretty good spot. So Dishsoap actually ended up reforging the moguls there, saying we can use basically anything in the spot, AP, AD, items, whatever. And so we're going to reforge here. Now we don't lose the unit slot, and we basically use our second augment and pretend like it gave us some econ plus a random artifact here. And hey, we get fish bones here. We can throw this onto Draven, and yeah, we very quickly get into a very, very nice board. So this is a lot of what I think Dishsoap likes to play around in these Fast 9 boards. The Maokai is an interesting choice because I think a lot of people actually rate Maokai pretty low as far as Fast 9 stuff goes, and would rather play towards other things. But Dishsoap actually, the last few games I looked at, did prefer playing Maokai as a tank on the board. Ashe usually fits in as just a good 5 cost, but it looks like we're going to fit Alune on the board for now. Sure, why not? And the Kog'Maw, he's not crazy on this board. He is just 2 Invoker with the blue buff here. And it's also, we have Armor Shred done with the LW, but we don't have MR Shred done on this board. So it's free MR Shred for the entire board. So he's honestly not a bad unit to play, though I do assume that we're going to get out of him later just because just MR Shred is probably not worth a unit slot on Fast 9. But we'll see. There's also this other pretty similar version of this board that Dasik has popularized, where instead of playing Maokai, you end up playing 2 Primal. You end up playing the Sivir that ends up getting Hunter in for the Ashe as well, and then you play the Vi on that board as well over the Maokai, and then what is randomly a Loon in the slot here. So makes sense. I mean, a lot of versions of boards kind of hovering around here, but I've seen Dishsoap play this version a lot, and it's done quite well. And to be fair, if you think of Maokai almost similar to like Graves of last set, but a tank. I mean, the potential for this guy to get a ton of seeds, to scale up really, really hard, is absolutely insane. And also, speaking of seeds, we do get an Ivern here, who is the other like super, super high cap fast 9 unit, where this guy can buff up your entire board. We do see Solar and Phalux here. Also, wow, he even just gonna grab the 5 seeds there. Why not? I mean, it's literally, you know, it's not an econ charm, it's not a combat charm, it's a nothing charm, it's a scaling charm, but it does give you some more hexes to play around, which is nice. And yeah, this means that we're gonna get 2 hexes this round for Ivern. Definitely way too late to go for the Ivern Secret Prismatic, where if you get every single hex on the board, you get a Giga Hex. I'm so sad because I had a game that I played on PvE a few days ago where I got Ivern, I think it was 4-1. Yeah, I think it was 4-1 Ivern, and I got really close. I had like maybe 5 hexes left to paint, so I just needed a couple more combats to get there, but sadly did not make it and did not get my my Giga Ivern hexes, which makes me kind of sad. I want to see the Prismatic. I haven't spoiled it for myself, but hopefully I'll get to see it at some point. But yeah, I mean, the board doing well. Draven also not normally one of these units that you will play around super, super hard for Fast 9, but we have items for him. We can put him onto the board, and I mean, he's doing good damage. I just think a lot of people think of Draven as kind of like, you use him to generate resources, and then you'll usually get out of him later just because there's better carries out there. The Dragon is good for one. Even Gnar I like a lot as well. We've talked about before. Just a really, really nice Fast 9 unit to play around. So I'm interested to see kind of how Dish finishes capping this board here, because there's a lot of them. We have the Aluntu just sitting on the board now with no items, but eventually we could get to items. We're going to roll down pretty deep here, just trying to find something to play here. We do get the Lunar Lux. We find Taric here, who I think is one of the big ins on this board. Find the 2-star Ivern as well. And yeah, not even going to worry about the Lux, just going to play this as our board here. So Taric on this board, I think Taric, honestly, one of the best Fast 9 units this set. He is just an absolute monster. Also, man, Dishsoap is going to win another fight here. This game could be over. Only 16 minutes in the video, man. Dishsoap, slow it down. It's 6-1. You can't kill the whole lobby this fast. I mean, you want to find Elder 2 to play around. I mean, you want to find Draven 2 to play around as well. You want to find all this stuff. But, I mean, just very, very solid combat augments in this spot. And yeah, he might not need to finish capping the board that much higher. I think this might just be it. We'll see. We are fighting enemy Draven here. Kind of the mirror matchup, actually. This guy almost has our entire same exact board here. So just showing the power of this Fast 9 board. And maybe it's Draven's time to shine. I feel like actually both of them playing Draven this whole game, looking pretty good. And wow, that is going to be the game already for Dishsoap. Okay, so you know what? I learned from this VOD, Draven low-key a beast. I think after some of the, did they buff him up on some, I think at the start of PB felt pretty underwhelming, but these fights he looked really, really good. Then the Elder Dragon doing damage as well. Obviously all the backline excess, the Kennen, the Raven, and the Elder Dragon. I mean, it's so much. And you have good tanks with the Maokai, the Sentinel, the Amumu, and the Taric here. So really, really cool board from Dishsoap. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Metafy. All my links down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching as always.